know, it's a lot going on. People in the city dying. People all over the world dying. Celebrities dying. It's in the music. It's put in our face. Put in the movies, TV shows, all that. But this shit ain't no game, bro. Not whatsoever. How you feel about, or let me ask you, like, how you been keeping up with what's going on in the streets, like, far as, you know, people, they not committing suicide, but it's labeled as that because they're choosing on their own will to take maybe a pill, maybe, you know, snort a line or two if you get down like that. You know, you got your mollies, it's just all type of shit out here, man, to get you caught up, man. And it's sad when a motherfucker go out and how they go out. You know what I'm saying? When that's in the play, when that's the situation.
So, you know, it is some people that want fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, you know what I'm saying? That let you know, like, off the rip, like, that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't coming from me being necessarily in the streets and dealing in the move or whatever, but just still just knowing people in the situation. You know what I'm saying? So the one it's ones that end up taking it that don't know that it was fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people out here snorting coke and don't know that it's mixed with fentanyl.
Alright, now look, check this out. Where the fuck this fentanyl shit come from, man? Like, we been heard of all the other drugs, your heroin, you know, the codeine, that been heard, but where the fuck this fentanyl shit come from, man? I feel like that's some new shit, like 5 years ago type shit.
No, it ain't new. It's been there. You know what I'm saying? It's been
well, it damn sure ain't been popular or ain't been talked about.
The thing about it was, it's been here, but it's been in the hospitals. You feel what I'm saying? It hasn't been no further than the hospitals because they use it for like after surgeries and shit like that because it's
so
like
it's basically like morphine.
No, it's 50 times stronger than morphine. So it's a synthetic opioid. It's not derived from a plant. It's synthetic. It's a chemical based opioid.
Correct.
So
it's even worse than the heroin.
Yeah. It's like 50 times. I think it's 50 times. It might be more than that. You just got to take the numbers for yourself. But I know it's over 50 times stronger than heroin, pure heroin. So when they say that it's, you know, that of course they want to say it's suicide because no one wants to say how it got to the streets because it never supposed to make it that far.
Right, and then on top of that, when people die, and that's the reason, like, I don't think families want that out like that.
Oh, I mean, nah, especially when it come to us. Because that's really all we talking about at the end of the day is us. When it come to us, yeah, we don't want to say nothing about nobody ODing on no dope. Like
it's slick, like slick, embarrassing, or shameful type shit.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. It's a part of a shame, but it's also, you know, they don't want to. You know, a situation like your family member get murdered, that's pretty much on the news. There ain't no way you can really hide that.
Right.
But if your family member OD, you get, you know, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? He had a heart attack, an aneurysm, COVID got him. You know, anything but what actually killed him type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna say this. I think the music has gotten a little too ridiculous, man. I mean, I know we don't have music that swayed us to certain realms of living too, so
right.
I don't really want to talk just so down bad on the music. But we also are old enough that we came from a realm when the music wasn't all this either, though. You feel what I'm saying? Where it was also some party, Yin Yang Twins with party music.
Correct. Crunk music, crunk music, yeah.
We could just chill on. They don't have that no
more. Nah. And the music play a big influence. It's a big influence.
But you know that. Did you ever look up on that COINTELPRO shit I told you to look up on?
Nah, I forgot me. My head be everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm gonna go back.
That's a part of the psychological warfare, though. If I chant to you something like Kanye, yeah. People
and look, check this out. And look, and I want you to think about this aspect of it. It's almost like drugs in the community, or guns in the community, killing. Like the end result is us, or like when you say the music, it influences us, right? Well, just like this fentanyl, nigga, we don't put the drugs here and we don't make fucking guns. So I think that gotta be added into the equation as well.
Let me tell you, man, there's some guns on the streets that ain't got no business on the streets because they don't even sell them in the store.
Facts, but you get the point I'm trying to make, as in, yeah, it's a problem that we doing to ourselves, but at the same time, nigga, we ain't doing it to ourselves.
No, we ain't never doing it to ourselves. We taught to do it to ourselves and then make it feel like that this was a choice that we made.
It's almost like they put this shit here on purpose, and then the next step is to get celebrities or music or movies, media to promote it. And then next thing you know, motherfuckers dropping like fries, ODing, this, that, and the third.
Man, listen, I was looking at Snowfall. I just now looked at that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people might take that Snowfall shit as entertainment, but it really wasn't entertainment. It was really what happened. They glorifying it in a way, but that's how the crack epidemic really happened. They fed crack to us to save another sect of people, which don't make sense to me. Like, so okay, we'll kill the people here, we'll kill niggas here to make sure the countries over the Iranian countries or whatever the hell they were, the Nicaraguan soldiers or whoever the fuck they was that was fighting this supposedly war that the crack epidemic supported. So you killed a whole community of people in the United States to save them. That don't make sense to me.
And them ain't That ain't
got nothing to do with you for real. So you started the crime that you complain about. You instituted this crime because you dropped the drugs off in the neighborhood for the crime to begin to happen. That was all the government. And that's what's so hilarious to me, because it's like you watch these others, they'll jump on the bandwagon and sue the shit out the government quick.
Mm-hmm.
For everything.
Anything.
Check what happened, just like what happened in Tennessee. Everybody's license was suspended for years. It was niggas running around with license suspended for years. Them motherfucking others up on the mountain, license got suspended one time. Them folks sued the shit out the state, and everybody got their license back. But this had been going on for over 2 decades. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's been illegal for over 2 decades. People done went to prison over the fact that you done suspended their license and they gave you the premise to search their car.
Right.
So
people done went to prison just off of the license. Like I think that's just fucking ridiculous. But go ahead.
Yeah, but saying that to say this, they do this purposely. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't. This is all by design. at the end of the day, if you constantly see, a lot of people can't kill people unless they on drugs. You see what I'm saying? Like, they have to be high.
Yeah, that's a bar. That's a bar right there. I like that.
People like to glorify gangbang, but a lot of them niggas is high when they go do that shit, because a lot of niggas can't live with that shit. It's certain people that can live with it, because it's in them. They can do it.
Right.
Everybody can't live with that shit. That's why you got so many niggas that keep having to pop the drugs and do all this.
Having to snort lines and having to.
You got to, because of all the shit you done, you can't live with. So you staying high to cope. So when it comes to, I'm gonna tell you, man, my daddy told me something one time, man, about heroin, man. He said he did a lot of drugs back. If there was one drug he'd go back to, it'd be heroin. He said
he skipped marijuana. He skipped.
Man, he said if he had to go back to any drug, man, it'd be heroin, man.
And why the fuck did he say that?
He said because you could be sitting on the couch and a motherfucker get his head blowed off right next to you, and you just look over there at him and say, as long as it wasn't me.
Damn.
You have it don't make you move no way, sway no more way, nothing. You just cool.
Yeah. I heard heroin. That's a pretty strong drug.
And if fentanyl.
And you say fentanyl, that's 50 times worse than that.
That's 50 times stronger. You can only imagine where it take you to.
It take you to death.
Yeah.
That's what it's doing. And it's not funny. I chuckle, you chuckle, but the shit not funny. That shit killing funny, you, man.
You have to laugh to keep from crying, because you sit there and you watch people literally do something that they know gonna destroy them, but they do it anyway. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts.
And it's like, okay, yeah, you can say that it's popular or whatever, man, but at the end of the day, what drugs that they have put on the streets that have benefited society? You see what I'm saying? So it don't matter if they come out with a drug called Black MP3 tomorrow. It ain't gonna do nothing but worsen whatever the hell is already going on.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, they reinstituted this opioid epidemic. You know what I'm saying? They did this same shit with the crack epidemic. The government did it. The only
this is a pharmaceutical, FDA approved.
Right. So
it's in the hospitals. You can get a prescription.
The difference in the crack and the fentanyl is they got scapegoats for the fentanyl because they blaming it on the pharmaceutical companies. It's like they're releasing this into the atmosphere, not us.
Now I don't know of as of yet what pharmaceutical companies are getting any kind of pushback on the death of suicide as far as fentanyl. Now I might be wrong with a motherfucker, but I usually try to stay up on shit. I ain't heard nothing about that.
Let me tell you something, man.
I think that should be in play as of now.
They ain't gonna never sue them pharmaceutical companies again like they did. Crack, you can go anywhere in the country and pick up you some crack.
Mm-hmm.
In 2001, you can go anywhere in the country and pick up some crack.
Mm-hmm.
You can go anywhere in the country to pick up some cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
That was the drug. That was what was moving. Nigga, you didn't hear no nigga come to you talk about that you wanted some fucking fentanyl and no Percocets and all that shit back in fucking 2001.
Right.
Didn't nobody want none of that shit in 2001. They was selling weed, cocaine, and crack.
Right.
That was the big thing. You didn't even hear niggas on the
X pills wasn't even popping back then, not like that.
When New York niggas was rapping, you never heard them talk about heroin.
That's interesting. Something to think about. But let's get back to this fentanyl and this codeine. Like here lately, you know, a couple.
I bring the codeine into the conversation on it because when they brought up all the other opioid situations, as in the pills and all the shit that the white kids got on, they never brought up codeine in the conversation.
Right.
That wasn't even involved in the lawsuits. Codeine wasn't even involved in the lawsuit. So up under the laws where it say that you are actually a victim if you use opioids, codeine don't fall under that because it's not in the paperwork. You see what I'm saying? And that's where I'm saying that, like, at the end of the day, that's where we flaw at, because they'll go sue for their shit, and we stuck with the codeine epidemic. So yeah, maybe at that time when the opioids before the fentanyl hit, when it was just the opioids, we was codeined out. So that ain't even involved in the conversation when it comes to opioid epidemic. And the fentanyl, it's a replacement because they say when it comes to heroin, you always want stronger and stronger. These Chinese folks created that shit. They sell it to Americans. They sell it all over the world. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, Chinese people gonna do what Chinese people do. They gonna start moving that shit. After they get a market for it, you know what I'm saying? You gotta think, it's a lot of people on opioids right now. There's a lot of people on opioids on. So fentanyl is the end all. Like you said, like, these people are going to death on the fentanyl, but they know they taking fentanyl.
Or they know it's a possibility that this shit could be laced. Like,
yeah, but see, you gotta understand, opioids are the only drugs that your body get addicted to. Everything else is a mental addiction. Besides alcohol and opioids.
See, this fentanyl is in a bunch of shit. It's in the perks. I'm hearing it's in the perks. I'm hearing it's in cocaine. It's in the X. It's
dirtball cheap in bundles. It's dirtball cheap in bulk. So if you get it and it look like coke, you can mix it with the coke as a cut. Now, me personally, I don't understand why they do that. And I ain't gonna say why I don't understand why they do that, but I just don't understand it. But I guess if that's what they feel like they need to do. And it might not be, they, like you said, these folks might be pushing that line. They might be pushing that line of mixing that shit with everything. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not. This couldn't be a situation where these people is knowing this shit, bro. This shit is some dirty packs.
Yeah. I got some personal partners that
you know, these gotta be some just straight up dirty packs, bro. Straight up.
I got personal partners that done lost their life with the dirty packs. I full-heartedly understand. I really feel like that's bitch.
You know,
shit.
People thinking they getting some straight, some good coke, or somebody think they getting some good perks or some good X or whatever they think they getting, they ain't getting. It's it's.
And you know what's crazy about it all? It's like, you know how me and you talk, bro. Like, we got to come to a point, man, where we got to stop glorifying what kill us overall. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing else that the world can offer us but shit that kill us. This fentanyl
do you take away entertainment? At some point, do you be like, blame the entertainers, blame the rappers, blame, the movies, the media? Or do you get to a point where you know have some accountability and understand that this is entertainment, this is music, this is a movie, this is just social media, like.
But when it comes to mental situations, it's percentages of everything. You know what I'm saying? Because you got people that you got some guys that sell dope. You got some guys that sell dope, never had to sell dope. They do it anyway though. Whatever reason that flipped them in their head to make them feel like that they need to do this, they did it, whatever. So you can't know. You can never wholeheartedly blame it on the music because you still get to a point in your life. My daddy told me this, man. He told me this yesterday. We was on the phone. He said, you can blame me for everything up to 18. He said, everything that happened in your life up to 18 years old, you can blame me for it. He said, because everything up to 18, you was my responsibility. So if you didn't make the moves that you were supposed to make everything up to 18, I didn't do what I was supposed to do as a daddy to make you make the moves. He said, but everything after 18, you smart enough to know what the fuck you doing. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that type of mentality is why I seldomly have empathy for people when the conversation get brought up about certain things, because it's like, and I got a sister that's an alcoholic. I hate it to death. Wish she'd go get some help. Won't go get no help. My daddy told me on that. You just got to help her out when you help her out. Cool. You know what I'm saying? But the fentanyl, it's gonna be hard to get over this, bro, because it's pretty much to the point that you got to tell people to stop doing drugs.
That's
What else can you tell them? Because they have it in everything.
They got it in everything, man.
So if they got it in everything right now, shit, it's some weed that they done been sprinkling the shit off.
Nah, don't go saying that shit,
bro. That's why, man. We'll talk out, but yeah, the shit's in everything, bro. So it's pretty much to the point where you got to be like, you know what, we just got to stop doing drugs because it's never been. I mean, weed smoking is cool. That ain't even no drug shit. But any other drug ain't really never been conducive to building our neighborhoods up or doing nothing for our community, bro. Like, it never did nothing but tear down. Yes, niggas had some ghetto cash and looked like they was ghetto rich around that thing for a little minute or whatever, but they always knocked them off and take that shit. So it's like, it's to the point that it's like, and the fentanyl, you had to have programs in place to get them folks off that shit. And we don't necessarily have them programs. We never fought for the money for it. We never fought for the funds. You know, them people put their lawyers up to go get what they needed. We never fought for the funding though. So we stuck, as always, like out. You know what I'm saying? Because we never think about getting no lawyers.
I mean, but shit, do you know any survivors off fentanyl? I don't, like.
No, you know what? I don't know nobody.
You know what I'm saying? Usually when somebody get
say that they OD'd and survived off fentanyl, but I'm pretty sure, because I don't know a lot of people that do fentanyl either.
Yeah, that too.
That's not my genre of people. So since I don't float around that, from what I've seen though. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm basing, and that's what I was basing my conclusion on. Like, cause you got Gangsta Boo just died. You got Bitch Scar died right before her. Like, I'm pretty sure like they wasn't doing this on. They wouldn't.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Gangsta Boo been living in LA and shit. She probably brought something back to the crib, but she probably got to the crib and got something when she got to the crib. This Gangsta Boo. She can grab something when she get to the crib. like you said, the dirty pack situation, man. You know, everybody, you don't know what's in this shit when you buy it now. You just buy it. You hoping and praying and wishing, but you really don't know what's in the shit.
Okay.
Really...
Now in Big Scar's situation, like his was like deep or emotional, like, or at least that was the perception. You know what I'm saying? So like, what do life and drugs got some type of correlation, like when you like a rough life, bad life, some type of trauma, you know what I'm saying, like some type of, you know, bad situations you done went through, do that got anything to do with doing drugs or just finding something else to make you feel better?
So I was telling somebody else this too. So we come from the age of when they was pumping pills down everybody. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm 41. We come from the age where the teachers had pill bottles all over the desk. Everybody got pills. Every time something happened, the counselor would tell your mama that you need to go to a therapist, and the therapist would tell you that you was extremely depressed, you was extremely hyperactive, and you needed pills to calm you down and pills to stop you from being depressed.
Right.
So, okay.
They got a pill for everything. God damn.
They got a mental pill for everything, right?
Go ahead.
So, fast forward, though. Now you got a lot of people that was taking these mental medications. That was always the excuse for why you did what you did, was because you had a mental issue. You feel what I'm saying? So you got people that you done trained to tell, oh, you crazy. You crazy. That's what's wrong with you. You crazy. You've been telling them that since school. So now they grown, they like, shit, I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? But in all actuality, you didn't become crazy till you start taking that shit that start altering the serotonin in your damn brain. But nobody also studied the long-term effects of taking them pills. Because a lot of these gang-banging kids that we talk about that's addicted to drugs, that they emotional and shit, they come from the kids who was taking them emotional pills.
Right.
So that stuff could have been in their fatty tissues or anything, and it passed on to the baby. Now the baby don't know how to cope. The baby never got the shit in his body to cope with depression. So he stayed depressed. You have to give him that chemical to put in his brain to make him not be depressed. But if you take it out of his brain, he might do some crazy shit.
But we talking about grown people.
But my daughter's grown now, though. I'm not saying my daughter's one that did some crazy shit, but I'm saying a lot of these grown niggas now, I'm 41. There's a lot of motherfuckers got kids that's 25 and shit that's my age. So the same motherfuckers running around shooting, but we also talking about these 40-year-old niggas that's running around shooting. Because them niggas was on pills and shit too when we was in school. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? So you take them off them pills, then you start fucking up they mental state, because you took away the body's natural ability to make the chemical that he needed to not be depressed, and you replaced it with a synthetic chemical. So when the brain tell itself that it ain't got to make the chemical no more, it'll stop. But if the motherfucker stop taking the pills, then he don't get the chemical no more. So then he flipped the fuck out one day, nigga, in the club, tripping with a nigga over some shit. We like, it's some petty shit, and he done shot the nigga all in his face. It's petty as hell to us, but in his mental state, it wasn't petty. You see what I'm saying? And these are grown people. It's like the Humanitarian Candidate. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah, I done seen that.
It's like that. Say the right word and snap him into what he need to do. What we done trained him and we done put in his head for so long to do is snap him in. A lot of them drugs, you see newscasts about them like, hey, if your folks took these drugs, you might need to sue because there's some fuck shit going on. They don't even sell Ritalin no more. That was the most popular ADHD drug that they had on the market for years. And they would not sell it no more because it was something fucked up with it.
Yeah, it was bullshit.
It was some bullshit, but nobody talks about it. But it was a lot of black kids on Ritalin because if you goddamn jumped up in the classroom and ran to the front because you had to piss, you was too hyper, and you needed some pills, sit your ass down. That's what they was telling you. Fast forward to now, these are the same motherfuckers that's in our neighborhoods home. That's the gangbangers. They the main niggas. That's the gangbangers. That niggas be like, how he become OG? That nigga slow. You ain't never heard that? How that nigga slow. A lot of these niggas they were taking pills and shit in school. They don't take them no more. But then they done had kids that's the after effects of a motherfucker taking pills. Drugs is embedded in their system. This new generation, drugs is really pretty much embedded in their system. If a motherfucker wasn't taking the pills they was prescribing, they was taking X pills.
I mean, you know, the new generation, you know, it's different, and I'm sure we was different to the generation before us, you know.
But even then, if you talk to the older generation before us, it was some fuck shit going on with them too. It's always been some fuck shit in the water.
Always.
You know what I'm saying?
Always.
It's always been some fuck shit in the water. We just products of what happened the generation before us. You see what I'm saying? So, yes, it looks worse. That's why I say I never talk about the youngsters, because it looks worse. You feel what I'm saying? But it's really not worse. It's just more than what it was, because it's a different situation.
And for niggas our age, it's really 2 or 3 generations that's after us right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not just one. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple.
We done got up there in age to where it is 2 generations up under us right now. You feel what I'm saying? So with it being 2 generations up under us, these are the generations that we were doing the drugs they was giving the nigga, the pills, the this, the that, and they was constantly telling us to tell our kids that, hey, look, you need to take your child to get some therapy. Your child seemed depressed because the teachers didn't want to deal.
You know, it's a lot of shit people deal with, and that's the point where I was trying to get at. You know, you got poverty. You know what I'm saying? You got violence. You got, you know what I'm saying? You got your influence on your in the movies. All this, you know what I'm saying? Social media shit. You know what I'm saying? Now these days, so it's a lot of ways. You know, people can just go through things, and you know what I'm saying, feel depressed. You know, depression is a big deal, you know, these days, mental health. So
emotions are natural though.
Right.
But you have to learn how to cope. Excuse me. You have to learn how to cope with those emotions. And people choosing to cope through the drugs or alcohol. But because you know why? Because they was never taught to cope no other way. Didn't I just tell you, if I jump up in the classroom and run to the front, they told me to take a pill. You need to sit down, take a pill.
That's crazy.
They never told me how to sit down, or that the fact that you ain't at home right now, you need to sit down and you need to learn how to do this. They didn't tell you all that. They just
you need to raise your hand first. You need to raise your hand.
Yeah, but if you don't do it and they don't understand it, they know that everybody learn different. They want the Ritalin to put everybody on the same learning level. That's really what it was. They wanted to put the Ritalin on the same, because everybody don't learn. Some people are visual learners. They don't learn out of book. They visual learners. So you would say that person was slow, but all in actuality, they just don't learn out of books. They're a visual learner. That's why they had field trips and shit back in the day, because they knew that it was some learners that was visual learners. So they took them out so they could, you know what I'm saying? They took all that shit away and told everybody to just sit in the classroom. Just sit there. And we're going to teach. And then when you had students that couldn't just sit there, then they needed pills to be controlled so they could just sit there. But you don't understand that the ones that do sit there, they was trained to do that type of shit at home. The ones that don't sit there, they really wasn't trained to do that type of shit at home. So they still have to learn that skill. But instead of learning it, you gave them a pill.
Yeah.
So,
and that's by design. And that's by design, by the way.
Why do people cope with their emotions with drugs? Because they told us to take drugs. They told us that's how you cope with your emotions. You're not supposed to be depressed, take a drug. You're not supposed to be hyper, take a drug. You're not supposed to be too happy, take a drug. They always told us to take a drug. So now, it's on the streets to take a drug. I'm just going to take a drug. I may well just go pop a pill.
Right.
I may well just go hit this motherfucking heroin one time, man, because this shit got me stressed out.
Right.
Fuck that, I'm going to get me a bag, man. I ain't think about this bullshit. I'm finna go get me a bag. That's their coping skills. Instead of sitting down for a second and trying to figure out what the fuck is going on or what the fuck is going on with you, started taking drugs. And that's what gets you through. The drinking, the drugs, the whatever is what gets you through, because that's how they always taught you how to cope. They never taught you no other way to cope.
Is that an excuse though?
No, it's not. No, that's not an excuse. That's training right there, bro. That's not an excuse. That's embedded. If a mother, you have to learn coping skills, bro. If you don't learn coping skills, then you that's why motherfuckers can't have civil conversations in relationships, because they watch their mom and daddy or whoever the fuck arguing with they folks all the time, and that's how they communicate it. So that's embedded in them to communicate like that. You thinking that that's all they want to do is argue, but no, that's just how they communicate, because that's how they learn to communicate. They watch. That was how they folks communicated. Now you can learn other ways, but you gotta
like have more sense than that to know. I mean, a lot of shit is like how people are, you know, who you are, what you done been through, and shit like you just explained. But at the same time, a lot of people know what the fuck they doing. I think.
I didn't say they don't know what they doing. I say that it's a practice skill. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people know that selling dope is wrong. You might start out feeling like, fuck it. I'm doing what I'm doing.
But you getting some money out of selling dope. You ain't getting shit. You ain't getting shit out of,
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's still wrong. It's still fucked up. It's still wrong.
And I can do a lot of right with this. I can pay my bills. I'm just playing devil's advocate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. But
you ain't getting nothing at all. You ain't getting, it ain't nothing to gain from, taking the drugs or taking those serious drugs type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but if somebody didn't take the drugs, then you couldn't make the money. You feel what I'm saying? It's a hand over fist situation. The government started the crack epidemic. No one in the government went to jail for selling crack. They locked up all the niggas they gave it to. You see what I'm saying? So
right.
It's the same shit with this. They know exactly what's moving, how it's moving. It's they freeways, it's they air, it's all that. They know what's going on, bro. They direct that shit the way it's gonna go to. And we wasn't grabbing on. We was making the money off they people, they kids. So the fentanyl, it took us by storm. They started mixing it in our shit and all type of shit. And now the fentanyl in our neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And at first, everybody was banging out the pills. You wasn't catching a bunch of people popping no Oxycontins and shit. Niggas was just selling them bitches. Because they knew they could make a boatload of money real quick off them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, yeah, that wasn't what grabbed us. So, it started coming in the coke a little bit, just some sprinkles in the coke. You know, people hitting the coke, and now they don't realize that the coke ain't good to them no more like it used to be, because they've been getting some shit with fentanyl in it. So if they end up with the shit without the fentanyl in it, it ain't really getting them high, because they was getting high off the fentanyl. The fentanyl is stronger than the cocaine. Man, you see what I'm saying?
You know, just overall, you know, like, I don't know about far, you know, celebrity-wise or mainstream-wise, but here, wherever you at, your surroundings, you know what I'm saying, people you know of, it might be some shit pop on the news, you know what I'm saying, that you see in the, you know, surrounding areas, you know what I'm saying, like, it's been a lot of cases, and you know, like, it's, you know, it's probably gonna be more.
Way more.
You know.
I tell a motherfucker, I say, I care about you. I know you get down with the other shit. They get down with the coke. I said, I know you get down. I said, I would appreciate it if you could stop, because you don't know how that shit coming in. So you get 1,000,001 excuses. Oh, I get it from Whoopie Whoop, and that's my motherfucker. Man, look. The old motherfucker didn't package that shit in Colombia and bring it here. It went through 50 hands before y'all touched it.
Straight like that.
You can't trust nothing by the time you get it in your hands.
You are now watching 702 Visions.
Shout out to y'all boys, man.
I ain't hard to find. Get at me. 702 Vision. District 1104.